As we hear the introduction from Abuna Makarius. Today we're talking about the day, like Abuna he said, we call it the Blessed Sunday, and always we read this one in Agpeya, the 9th hour, about the blessing when Jesus he blessed the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and we repeat it twice a year, plus every month have 5 weeks we have to repeat this gospel again. We found this story the only story coming in the 4 gospel before Jesus come to Jerusalem. Jesus, when he entered Jerusalem, since Jesus went in Jerusalem, every gospel he mentioned this story, like Jesus went to Jerusalem, the crucifixion, the resurrection, the ascension, all this mostly the 4 gospel mentioned. But it's the only miracle before Jesus come to Jerusalem, all the 4 gospel mention this story. Why? Because this story was the introduction of the Holy Communion. If we read book of John chapter 6, when we go home, we found the end of the chapter 6, Jesus started to tell them about his body and the blood. So he wants to show them the introduction. I am able from the 5 loaves to feed 5,000. So I am able to, every time you put the bread and wine on the altar, I can change it to my body and the blood. So that's why the introduction, that's why that was very important for the 4 gospel to mention this story. Another point in this story today, when Jesus he talked to Philip, he had the 12 disciples with him, but he chose only Philip to talk to him. Why? He asked him this question, because when Jesus called the disciple Philip, one of them, when Jesus called him to follow him, he told him, my dad passed away, let me first I go bury my dad. He told him, leave the dead to bury their own dead and they come follow me. What this means? They mean don't to be worried about people die and they have no eternal life, but when you follow me, you have the eternal life. Philip, before he do anything, every time he calculate by his mind. His faith, he got faith, but not strong enough. If he want to do anything, he has to have his calculation, think about mind. Jesus, he doesn't want to someone follow him and see the miracle and see all this performance and still think about his mind. Jesus, he wants him follow him by faith. By faith. That's why Jesus asked him question, he didn't answer. Jesus, he told him, from where we can buy food for all these people? But Philip, he told him, these people to feed them cost up to 200 dinar. But that's a different answer. I won't tell you from where. If we calculate these people, they about 5,000 men, plus women, plus children. So you're talking about from 17,000 to 20,000. Imagine everyone coming. There was one day with Jesus, with his wife, that's 10,000 plus kids. Some people have minimum 2 or 1. That's about 17,000. So imagine 17,000 people, Jesus, he won't feed them. With 200 dinar, even if we got the money, if we do every 6 seconds, we do 1 bread, take 20 hours to feed these people. That if any technology can do bread 6 seconds a bread, take 20 hours. So he wants to tell him, even if you got the money, you're not gonna do. That's why I ask you from where we can buy food for all these people. The lesson Jesus he wanted to teach Philip and the rest of the disciples was very hard lesson to teach in there when they preaching. When Jesus he done the miracle, he asked his disciples to let the people sit down and every one of them to give food for people, so that everyone can touch the miracle, can see the miracle and give it. Plus, after they all finish eating, they let him collect all the leftover, and there was how many? Exactly 12. Why 12? Because every disciple he can lift like a basket in his head and walk with the basket. So everyone he sees the miracle, everyone he gave away the bread, and everyone he saw the leftover. That means everyone believed the little with God's hand he can be plenty. Today we're talking about 3 points, or 3 types of the faith. First faith, we want to talk about the little in God's hands, it can be plenty. Second type, God he able to do anything. Third type, you do your best, God he do the rest. First type of miracle, God he done it little with little boy have only 5 bread, very small for his lunch, and 2 fish. To feed this 5,000 was a big miracle. A big miracle. No way anyone think. But because the little, God, He wants to see how we can do anything, and He bless what we're doing. We're not going to sit down home without work or anything and we wait for someone to feed us. No. You do little, God bless. You do honestly, God give more. And God give more. When we give the donation and we give little to the church, God He bless the left. But if we keep God money, He not going to bless. Give so He can bless. He can't bless without we give. If you have a seed and you throw in the floor, one day can be plant and or can be tree. But if you didn't throw, God He not going to create from nothing. He wants we share to take the blessing. First story happened in Alexandria about the little in God's hand to be plenty. This lady, she come to the priest one day and told him, Abuna, I want you to build a church for the Archangel Michael. He said, I heard her, she looks very poor, she a widow, and she only independent in her husband, the one guy, pension. And she told him, I save some money, I want you to build a church for Archangel Michael. And she get all the bag money coin she saved was 50 pounds in that time. He told her 50 pounds doesn't even to buy the marble for the altar. We have one church in Batakla Himanot we built now. Maybe we can make altar for Archangel Michael and this money towards the altar. She said, Abuna, you have no faith? The little in God's hand to be plenty. She told him exactly this. Give me my money back. She took her money back and told him, I never asked the Archangel Michael anything and he didn't give it to me. Abuna, take the money and when you build the church, the money can be for the church of Archangel Michael. He said, I took the money from here. I want to ask Abuna B'Shor Kamil, Abuna, this what happened with me. He said, we do as her face. Get the money and put it in the safe. He said, not even 1 week finish. We found someone, he went to retire, he got 2 villas. He told the Abuna, I have 2 villas, I have only one enough for me, the second one I want to donate it to the church, but the only thing I want to be a church. If you're not going to do it in church, I take it back. They went to Mustafa Kamil, the area they said in that time was very dark, not much Christian. They said, how can I build a church here, but no people here, very dark area, who can I come to live here? They want to discuss with Bab Carolus. Bab Carolus told them, don't look for now, look for another 10 or 20 years. All this area can be very busy. Go to the man, tell him we do what we want, what you want, and we start. They went and told him, the man he signed the paper for them, and first money they used it to build the church was the 50 pounds of the lady to give it to the builder, destroy the villa, and to rebuild the new church. Very little, impossible someone think this $50 cannot start to build Archangel Michael, and the church now is still in Alexandria to show the face of this lady. Abuna, he's saying the same story. After 10-15 years, we found this lady coming back. He said in that time we was looking for area to build a church for new area, new suburb established in Alexandria. We have a lot of Christians, but we can't find land. But when we saw this lady coming back, everyone released. He said, this God, He sent her for good news. Abuna, he told her what happened. She said, thank God, after 15 years my kids grow. One of my kids, he's a doctor, and he loves to go to Saudi to do some work, so he makes some money to marry. So when the group coming from Saudi to do the interview in Cairo, he went to the interview, but he asked them for that to pay I want, that's the medical condition I want, that's contract I want. They refused. So he come home very upset. I told him, why you upset? He told me, because I was loving to have this job, but looks like I'm not going to get it. She told him, don't worry, tomorrow is the feast of Archangel Raphael. Before midnight tonight, if they ring you and you got the job, I built a church for Archangel Raphael. 5 to 12, before midnight, they ring him, they told him, we agree for all your contracts. And the lady, she told Abuna, this time I got you more money than last one. She gave him 200 pounds in that time and told them, I want you to build a church for Archangel Raphael. He said, we was sure this time, he said, couple of weeks they found the land. The land cost them 200,000 pounds and they start with this lady money. Some people, they have very strong faith. They know the little with God can be very plenty. But we have to give the little so God can bless. That's the first point about the faith of this miracle. The faith God, He wanted His disciple to have. Second point about the faith, nothing impossible with God. Nothing. Whatever you think, God, He can do it. God, He can do it. A little girl, this story happened in America. A little girl, she opened her money box and she counted all the coins she saved. It was $1 and 11 cents. They used cents in that time. She counted again with $1 and 11 cents. She went from back door, she closed her bedroom, went from back door and she went to the chemist. And she told the pharmacist, I want to buy a miracle. He told her, what? She said, I want to buy a miracle. I have the money and I want to buy a miracle. He told her, we're not selling any miracle here. She told him, my little brother, I heard my mom and dad, they said he got something wrong in his brain and only miracle can save him. And I'm coming here to buy miracle so we can save my little brother. He told her, how much you save? She said, $1 and 11 cents. Someone was hearing the conversation, a decent, nice man with suit. He told her, what's happening? What your brother got? She said, I don't know, but I hear my mom, she told my dad, we need a lot of money to make the operation, but my dad, he said, I haven't got the money, only we need a miracle. The man, he asked her how much he got. She said, I have $1 and 11 cents, but I can get some more from my friend. He told her, no, that's money enough, let me go and see your brother. This person was his name, something Clinton Armstrong, one of the very famous surgeons in the brain. He took her, he saw the boy, he took him, and he made the operation for him free. And with the parents discussing with the little kids, what about if he didn't do it free for us, how much can it cost us? The girl smiled and she said, $1 and 11 cents. They told her, plus the face of the little kids. Little kids, she asked the man, God, He fixed everything, so He not let her work go for nothing, and He make the miracle and her father heal. God able to do everything. So first point about the faith, little with God, be plenty. Second point, nothing impossible with God. Third point, do your best and the God, He do the rest. But to sit down and do nothing, He not gonna help. God, He wants us to try and He help. But if we didn't try, He not gonna help. This story, Abuna Boutros Gaid, he's the brother of His Holiness Bab Shinoda. He used to teach us in Theological College. And this story, he wrote it in one of his books. He said one day, two parents coming to him, their son in HSC, and he was very talented, and all time he get very good mark. In this year, he doesn't want to study anymore. He read one of the books, and this writer, he said, everything impossible. So he gave up the study, he threw the books, and he doesn't want to study. The parents told Abuna, we have no choice, we need your prayer to come to see him. He said, I want to visit him. All the time I didn't talk to him about the study, but before I go I told him, how many hours you study? He said, Abuna, everything, it's a hopeless case, I'm not studying, I threw all my books. He said, that's what the world say, hopeless case. But with Jesus, nothing impossible. St. Paul, he said, I can do everything through Jesus, He strengthens me. How much mark you can get if you start to study from now to end of the year? He said, my maximum, because I lost about 3-4 months now of the year, my maximum I can get 60%. He said, what about if God help you? How much God can give you? He stopped. He said, do you believe you are a human and you can get 60%? Do you think God, He can give you another 30%? He didn't talk. He said, you believe God, He can do or not? He said, He can do. He said, you do your 60% and I am sure God, He will give you the 30%. He said, I took his name, I put it on St. Mary altar and I started to pray for him and pray for him and pray for him. This boy, he bring his books back, he started to study hard. End of the year, he gets over 90%. And he went to Faculty of Medicine, and each book, instead of he write hopeless case, he write, I can do everything through Jesus, He strengthens me. So this is the type of faith God wants people to follow Him. Faith, we believe the little with God can be plenty. Faith, God, He can do everything, nothing impossible for Him. Faith, do your best and God do the rest. Kul sound طيبين, glory be to God forever and ever, Amen, and pray for me.
النهارده إن شاء الله أستاذ إيهاب هيكلمنا عن بعض الأسفار المحذوفة. أنا متأكد إحنا كلنا بنحتاج نعرف الأسفار المحذوفة. I think we have very little knowledge of it. وطبعا الشهادة الواحد يتعلم، كلنا نتعلم من بعض. وأستاذ إيهاب كان يعني عندي بعض الريسيرشز في الأسفار المحذوفة وكان يعني في بعض الكتب كتبها. اتفضل مرحب بيك، ويا ريت كل شعب كده نبدأ نتكلم عن الصورة إذا ممكن.
نتكلم بالعربي مش كده؟ أنا شايف كله عربي ورايت. في حد عايز انجلش؟ anyhow الكلمة اللي أنا هقولها النهاردة اوريدي على السي دي، كنت اديتها في اجتماع الشباب في كيسة من الكنائس، وفي الآخر إن شاء الله هديكم الكتاب اللي أنا كنت عامله عن دانيال، موجود بالإنجليزي وبالعربي وبالإبتز اللي هي الهوس الثالث واللوبش بتاعه قريب صليم. بسرعة برضو أحب أقول مقدمة بسيطة على أسرار القناة الثانية قبل ما نبتدي. النهاردة إن شاء الله هنتكلم على تتمة دانيال. أول حاجة لازم نعرف الكتاب المقدس اللي معانا ده مش طبعة الكنيسة الأرثوذكسية، دي طبعة الكنيسة البروتستانتية، والكنيسة البروتستانتية لا تؤمن بالأسفار الكونية الثانية. الأسفار الكونية الثانية عبارة عن 7 كتب مختلفين و2 تتمة. سبع كتب مختلفين و2 تتمة. اتفضل يا بابا. فلو هنبص كده بسرعة ايه هي الأسفار الكونية الثانية، هنلاقيها سفر توبيا اللي هم جايين يحبوا اقول بالانجليزي زي ما انتوا عايزين. انا نقول بالانجليزي، وزي ما قلت انا سبت الدكتور نعيم السيرمون اللي هنجي النهارده اوريدي على سيدي بالانجلش. كنت مرة once before I gave about soul, spirit and body, it's already includes the CD, and another topic about the end of the world in English too. Books, you can have it in the end, it's already in English and Arabic. We're talking about the second clinical books. We have 7 different books and we have 2 additions. What is books? First one, Book of Tobit and Judith, Compilation of Esther, Wisdom of Solomon, Wisdom of Jesus, son of Sarah, Prophecy of Pharaoh, Compilation of Daniel, the one we're talking about today, and First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. And why these books not include our Bible? Because I said before, this our Bible printed by Protestant Church or Anglican Church, and they not believe in these books. Why do you not believe in these books? Because these books talking about, like, for instance, intercession, and the Anglican Church not believe in intercession. That's why they take it away from the Bible. But if you have the Catholic print, you found these books included. And now in Egypt they start have it include the Bible of Catholic Church, and some of the print now start becoming with second clinical books. Some of the Orthodox, I think, yes. Alright, how many books in our Bible? Normal one, 66 books, plus the 7 books extra, that's 73. And the 2 addition already we have it in our Bible. The Compilation of Esther, already we have Book of Esther, and Compilation of Daniel, we have already Daniel. How many chapters in all our Bible? We have around 1,335. How many verse? About 33,000 verse. How many people wrote all the Bible? 47 people. and take them how the Bible 1,600 years. Like we say, book of Matthew 3 years, book of John 4 years. They add all these years, they found about 1,600. I give this introduction always before I start in second Corinthians books, because to know our Bible, because I doesn't want one of the kids to ask the servant how many books or how many verses. They're very talented and they know everything now on the internet, they can come test you. So at least we know. Why these books? When they collect the Old Testament, wasn't there in the Old Testament, because some of these books written after Ezra the priest, when he collected the Old Testament, and some of them was with the Jewish, and the Jewish was captivity around the world, so some of them they can't reach to get the books from them, and some of them written after Ezra he collected these books. Some of people they call it Apocrypha or Kutub al-Mahzufa. The church doesn't like this call at all, they call it second canonical books. Which churches they believe in these second canonical books? All the Orthodox church and type of the Orthodox, like Greek Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, Ethiopian Orthodox, any type of Orthodox and any type of Catholic, they believe in second canonical books. When we look to consider these books as a canonical, first time they have Council of the Churches 339 in Hippon, and St. Augustine even he was attending this meeting and he said, if anyone not believe in these books, he be excommunicated from the church. Look how was strong they recommend these books. The father of the church, second generation, third generation, like Clement, Irenaeus, the school of Origen, Cyprianus, all St. Patrius, John wrote the St. John Chrysostom, all these people, they're using this type of the books in their writing and teaching. If we look to the books today, there's a big introduction. If you have book of Tobit, the one I done it, you found all this introduction in detail. But today, because I know it's long today, in 15 minutes I try to finish. And you have the books, you can read it in your own time, and you have the sermon, I give it longer time as before. We're talking today about the compilation of book of Daniel, the compilation of book of Daniel. The book of Daniel we have in our normal Bible, it's missing some parts. Some of these parts, because the Anglican Church not believe in this, they take it off the book of Daniel. First point, who wrote this book of Daniel? Daniel himself, he wrote these books. What meaning of his name? Daniel. Daniel, what means Dan? That means judge. El, it's a Hebrew word that means God. God is judge. Anything come to El or Yahweh, that means God. So Daniel, it's two parts, Daniel, God is judge. Which language he wrote this one, Daniel? Hebrew language and the Chaldean. Remember when they take Daniel and the three friends as a captivity, they put him in the special school for 3 full years to learn the Chaldean language. So when he reached his position, he would speak as a fluent, read and write. When we read these books in our church, very important, if anyone has sent Apocalypse or Lilith Abu Ghalamsis, the story of Susanna, the church read it from A to Z. From where they got this story? From these books. If they not have these books, they can't have the story of Susanna. To show you how very important the books of compilation of Daniel. Another part, the third host of the Tasbihah, if you attend the Tasbihah every day all the year, they take it, you found the verse by verse, they take it from this book. Tasbihah wa Arif Salim. Exactly they took it from where? From this book. So that means this book is very important in our church. We have another 2 stories in this book. Story about the dragon and about the bear. And so this story, these 2 small stories do not read in the church, but the 2 big stories they always read it in our church. How we know these books are canonical or not? Jesus himself, he talked about the Daniel in book of Matthew chapter 24. That means Jesus mentioned, that means something canonical. When we celebrate the departure of Daniel in 23rd of Paramhan, that's the departure of Daniel, And in Sin of Bashan, they commemorate the three young men who in the departure. These three young men, their name Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael. And you got Daniel. When they took this one to Babylon, they changed their name. Everyone has different meaning and different name. First one, Hananiah, what's meaning of his name? God compassion. Hananiah, God compassion. Allah Hanan. And they gave him name Shadrach. Shadrach, one of the gods in Babylon, the altar of God of Echo. Ilah al-Qamar, the god of moon. That's first one, Hananiah. Second one, Meshach, who liked echo. God echo, that's the meaning of his name to Danial or Babylonian language. In Hebrew name, his name Mishael, who liked God, like Michael. Like Michael, meaning of his name, Mikael. He like again God, Mika like. Who liked God. Third one, Abednego, Babylonian name, who the servant of God Nebu, and his name in Hebrew Azariah, God's own or God's helping us. And the number 4, Daniel, I said before, that the judge, and they give him name Belshazzar, that's one of the gods in Babylon. So we got Hananiah, Azariah, Mishael, and Daniel. They call them Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Belshazzar. That's the name of the Hebrew. It's a 4 story in this book. I will mention quick the outline of the story, and when you have time, just read it carefully. First story, remember in Nebuchadnezzar when he built the gold image for him, and he said, anyone who hears the horn, he has to worship to my statue. The 3 young men didn't worship to the statue, so they took him and they threw him in fire furnace, and even was 49 cubit higher than normal, and even the people they threw the 3 young men, they get burned. But how they threw them and they didn't get burned, as we see, was one of the appearance of Son of God. It is different, we say appearance. Because in Old Testament there is some appearance. The incarnation happened only once, and was in a New Testament, when Saint Mary conceived to Jesus Christ. Before this, we call appearance. God, he can appear in body. He takes the body from the air, like the angel. Take the body, appear, do something like what happened with Abraham when he was outside the tent and he appeared with 2 angels. That's the body, and the body finished. That's call it appearance. But we can't call it incarnation. And this body is a special body, not the body Jesus arrived with this body. Because Jesus Christ with body have the mark of the cross with the body of resurrection, and this is the body we will see it, God wills, when we go. So we have to be careful when we say appearance, not incarnation, Old Testament. Because a lot of confusion about teaching, like when God appeared to Joshua. Alright, some people they said the Archangel is Michael, and the Jehovah Witness take it as this is not one of the appearance of God. Melchizedek wasn't appearance from God, was normal human being as a king. Because some of the teaching in the church was say one of the appearances of God, that's completely wrong, and one day we can give it and we can hear it how he was a normal human being, Melchizedek, not appearance from God. And they have the target in history, even they found the palace, his palace. One of the scholars, he done research and they found his palace. So when we're talking about appearance in God in Old Testament, we have to be very careful, very careful. Alright, so God appeared with them, and the Bible said the fire didn't change, but it's a very strong cold wind come. So they didn't feel the heat, even the smell of the smoke didn't come to their clothes. So the fire was there as a normal fire because they burned the people they slew. But the cold wind come and they didn't feel the heat at all. This Amber Horowitz, he writes it in his one of encyclopedia. And we know what happened, and after he took them, during when the 3 young men in the fire, they were praising God. You found all the praising of God in these books, and you found that exactly we say tasbihah, stir the horse. Exactly, you found it. When you finish, and I put it here in Coptic and English too. Tasbih stir the horse. You can follow, you found exactly what it said. Praise the Lord, even the tree, even the dew, even the rain, heaven, everything, praise the Lord. Now, alright, that's the first part. First story. Second story about the statue of Baal. They have in Babylon statue, big statue, and the king, he took Daniel, he said, Daniel, why you not worship this statue? Daniel, he told him, because the statue. He said, no, our statue he can eat and drink. He said, how? He said, listen, every day we put next to the statue 21 sheep, we put about 4 cubic square wine, and we put food, this much food. And next day we come, we found the food finished. That means Baal, he eating this food. He thought that his stomach low, or cement inside or whatever. How he can eat? He called the priest of Baal and told them, Daniel, he speak against your Baal. Where is the food going? He said, Baal, he eat the food. He said, alright. If Baal we discover he not eat the food, we kill him. But if we discover Daniel, the Baal didn't eat the food, they eat his food, we kill Daniel. If he eats the food, we kill him, alright. So what happened? Daniel, he told him, alright, they put all the food, Daniel, he gets the seal of the king, they seal the door so no one allowed to go in, and Daniel was very smart, he got like black dust and he threw it in the floor so anyone he walk, he can mark. Next day they come, Daniel and the king told him, Daniel, the seal correct? He said, correct. They opened the door, the king was very happy because all the food gone. So Daniel told them, wait, look to the floor. They found a lot of food steps or marks on the floor. So they discovered someone at night come and eat this food. He got the priest, he started ask them. They told them about secret door inside the temple. That's why they come at night there, and their wife and the kids, they eat all this food. So he killed all the priests, and Daniel he destroyed this statue. So the Babylonians got very angry. They start to worship another image. What they was worshipping? Dragon. They worship dragon, and they feed him even human, they feed him everything. The king asked Daniel, I told him, first one you said that statue not worship. What about this dragon? He can eat, he can drink, everyone is scared from him. He told him, allow me to feed him, and I kill him without knife or without anything. He said, I allowed you. So Daniel, he made some type of food, like something very strong, fat, and like this, all this one, like bowl, and he feeds the dragon, he eats, and his stomach open, he kill him. So all the Babylonians was very angry. They said, now the king start to believe in Daniel God. Give us the Daniel to punish him. So they took Daniel and they put him in lion den. And this is the story. We're back to normal, and this is the lion den. And in book of Compilation of Daniel, they said something not mentioned in the Bible too. They said, God, he sent Habakkuk, the prophet, with food to Daniel when he was in Daniel's den. And to mention the hermit of the church, they said he fly by the spirit, and they went to Daniel, get him food, and he come back to his place. It's mentioned in Compilation of Daniel. And we know God he saved Daniel from lion den. That was third story. So we took first one, the story about the young man, second one about the dragon, third one about the statue. Last story about Susanna. Some of us, he knows the story. I say it quick. Susanna, what happened? Her husband, he has a very big house, and they was living in Babylon, and he has big backyard. He used to collect all the people have a problem, and they get 2 elders of Jewish to judge between them, and he helped all his people. One day, the 2 elders, Susanna was very pretty, they want to do the thing with her. So after everyone left, they was hiding in the backyard. When she wants to have shower in her swimming pool, something like this, they told her, do the thing with us or we cannot. Witness, you have another guy was with you, and we try to catch him here. So Susanna said, I'm not going to do the thing with you. I rather die innocent then I do the sin with you, how I face God. So what happened next day in the court? They witnessed false against her, and we know the sin of adultery is stoned to death. So when they was walking, Daniel at that time he was very young, and they took her to the place to stone her. She was praying to God to save her. Daniel he told the people, let me ask these two judges one question. So they come to the court and he asked them, which three he separate them, everyone separate, and ask first one, which three you see Susanna who was doing the sin with this man? He said this type of three. He got another one and asked him, which three you saw? He said different name. They know they was falsely lie against her, and they get punished by God. They get punished and they kill them, and she was innocent and she went out. And this is the story, we read it fully in Lele de Bogalamsis or after Good Friday when we go home, we come 11, 12 o'clock until next morning. This is one of the story we read it. There's some of argue between us and the Protestant church was about 7 argue. I answered them in the book. You can read it. It's very small books, and to show you the books of our church. Why we explain always to the 7? Because you are the facing the Sunday school kids. When they ask you where we get this story from, you know at least. And thank God when we done Sunday school program in St. George, we include some of the story. Second Chronicle books include the program. So at least we know in our church or some of the churches use our program, they include these books. And any reference, anything you found in the books. Any question? I finished before 2.
Is TV regarding to places because it's international? Copy? Yeah. We want to do more and then we can do something.
And then books, when we finish, after a break, everyone come take books. If you know someone in meeting and they didn't come, take one from him. So I all for the selves. Any question before finish? I want to God will you pray. And I want to thank Amtalak. Amtalak is our father. And by the way, he's the one, he was Sunday school servant to my wife. يعني he gets generation and generation. يعني honest honor and the blessed in Amtalak Christina. بشكر دكتور نايم and Laila invite me and all the rest of the church, and please just pray for me. I finish all the books, and I love one day we print them in 2 volume encyclopedia of second clinical books, but we need publisher عشان يعني تبقى كله بالعربي بالانجليش تبقى very nice. Publisher to publish for months تبقى very good. And by the way, all of them in my website, and even last books I done اللي هو Jesus Son of Sirach was last one, you found in the website too, but mostly in Arabic. I print only English, was Tobit, Judas, and Compilation of Danial, and processing for Book of Baruch. Thank you, and Keshe Kol Martin.